So now that I have all the elements I need for my movie, now I'm ready to start using iMovie. So when I launch iMovie, it's going to pick up probably where you last left off. So if you've used iMovie in the past, it's probably going to remember the last project that you created, and that's where it's going to start. If that is the case, in the upper left-hand corner, I have a button here called Projects. This will take me back to what's called the Projects panel, which allows me to see all the projects I've ever created in iMovie. If this is the first time you've ever opened iMovie, then it'll probably start you here. And should see a button here that says Create New. This is what I want to create a new project. Now, there's two different types of projects that I can create in iMovie. I can either create a movie, which is a from scratch, total control video, or I can create what's called a trailer. Trailers are kind of like pre-made templates where the movie is mostly done for you. They have a variety of styles and different choices to choose from, but the movie is essentially already made. You'll just drop in your pictures and text, and it will fill in the rest. They're very much themed with certain music and design elements that were specific to whatever genre of movie that they're making. So they work really well for throwing together a really quick movie, but we're not talking about quick movies here. We're talking about actually creating your own specific custom movie exactly the way you want. So in order to do that, we need to make a movie. So I hit Create New and I choose Movie. Now the way iMovie works, it's got three main elements or three main parts to my video. I have over here where I'm going to store all of my media to my video. Anything that I'm going to be importing is all going to show up over here. Over here to the right is my viewer. This is where I'm going to be able to preview most of what I'm doing. And then down below is my timeline where I'm actually going to assemble my movie and put things together. Now the first thing I need to do is I need to get some stuff in here. I need to import some things into my project. So I can do that one of a couple ways. I can either click this Import Media button here. I could also hit this Import Arrow button up here, or I can simply go to File, Import Media, and it'll work the same way. Now it's going to ask me, where do I want to get this information from? Where is this video at? So in this case, I've already gone through and found all the pictures that I needed, and I put those pictures in a folder in my desktop called Sample Pics. So I'm going to go to Desktop and choose Sample Pics here, and these are the pictures I want. I could select individual ones, or if I hold down the Command key, I can choose non-consecutive images, or if I click on the top one and hold down the Shift key, it'll select all of those images. Now, one of the things that gets overlooked a lot is that there's an option up at the top that says Import To. And by default, it's going to a thing called Project Media. It's just kind of a generic media folder that's associated with this project. But you do have the ability to create what they call events in iMovie, which are specific places that I can store, kind of like folders, to store all of your content. So if you are going to be using iMovie a lot, it's recommended that you would create an event called possibly your PSA movie, and click OK, and make sure those things would be imported into your PSA movie event, or like I said, they're called events, but essentially they're folders within iMovie themselves. So I have my thing selected, I have my event chosen, and I'm going to go ahead and click Import All. Now those folders that I create show up over here. All right. They're all listed, alphabetical order. Here's my PSA movie, and here are the things that I have imported into that. Now, here's where I'm going to refer back to my storyboard. So now that I have my content, my media imported into my video, I'm ready to go ahead and start assembling my project. In order to do that, I need to go back to the storyboard and figure out what I want the beginning of that storyboard to be. So in my movie, I've decided I want the beginning to be a statistic that says 25%. And then a next one will be a picture that says texting with someone texting and driving, and then a car accident, and so on. So I'm going to skip my title for now and skip the text. I'll come back to that in a later video. So I'm going to start right here with this version of the person texting and driving. So if I go to my pictures, I had decided, yep, this one right here is the one that I want. I can click on it. It previews it over here. And if this is the one that I need, I just drag it down here into my timeline. It drops it in there. Now by default, every still image is 4 seconds long. I can click on that image and shorten it or stretch it out longer if I need to. But I would start with the 4 seconds and kind of see how that goes and adjust it after that. All right, the next image I need is somebody getting involved in a car accident. All right, in this particular case, I think this picture is the one I wanted that went along with that. Again, I click on it, I drag it down here, and then I had another spot of text, and then I had somebody else that was driving on the road, not focused. In this case, I think this is the one that I chose, and so I'll drag that one in there next. Now I can just drag it to the end. It'll automatically slide my timeline down to make room for it, and then I can drop it in there. Now I do have a zoom slider on my timeline. This will simply zoom in or zoom out of my timeline to make these clips appear to be smaller. So sometimes if I'm dragging and dropping pictures in there, it's easier to drag and drop and rearrange and reorganize if I zoom out a little bit so that the little boxes that represent my images are smaller.